that we are live.
Sweet. We did it.
Hooray. That we are
It's almost
Hurrah.
December. It's almost Christmas time.
almost Christmas. Only 25 days ago. Nice.
Yep. Yep. And I'll be up there on Christmas Eve.
You busting out your advent calendars? Getting in the
No.
spirit?
I haven't had an advent calendar in a long time. My dad used to
want
get
one
me
now.
one every year.
They make crazy ones now. You can get like Hot Wheels advent calendars, or it's just full of Hot Wheels.
I once bought a Lego one where you get a tiny little thing you get to put together every morning.
That is really
or
cool.
Every day. Yeah, that was a cool
I
one.
like that. Yeah. I should sign up for one.
I mean, you don't really
For
just
some
sign up for
weird
one. I
one.
think you just
Yeah,
need
what do you mean?
to go to like a Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean
Yeah,
sign
I'd
up
go
for
buy one.
Sign
I want
up
one of
for
those ones where they
Walmart.com.
send you like a new beer every day or whatever.
Oh, one of those IPA ones? Yeah. Okay, those are...
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that. I've heard of
Yeah.
like the Cards Against Humanity ones where they'll send you stuff for like a week or like 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
But usually that just ends up in like some of them getting delayed and then you get like a whole stack of stuff on one day, which is fun as well.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the way Canada Post is right now. Probably not a very good time for any mailing things.
I heard that had ended though.
Government forced their hand, so I don't know if it's
Yeah.
actually over, but there's still going to be like slowdown for a while for that.
Sure, yeah. Because my mom wanted to send me some Christmas stuff, but she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I can. Maybe you should just like pick some of this stuff up and I'll, PayPal you some money."
Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
Well, how's the week been for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How about that?
about that.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
It's been a thing for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy to be at the weekend, basically.
Sure. Of course. Of course.
I had some fun with streaming this week. It's been a weird week stream, but I also managed to slip on the ice and fucking wreck my back. So it's been great. Well, I say my back, but it's
Yeah.
more like my butt and tailbone and side, but yeah.
Oh.
Sure. Sure.
When did that happen?
That would have been Tuesday. Tuesday night, just went out to go bring the garbage and recycling out. Slipped on the ice, fell on the sidewalk.
Ugh. Hate it. No longer snowy around here, at least. It cleared up pretty good.
Yeah, speaking of cleared up, so I'm obviously back in the Bay. Because last episode I was down in Southern California, but
Right.
the Bay has clean air again. You can breathe. It is healthy to go outside.
Hooray.
Because it has been raining well, I wouldn't say nonstop, but a lot. It rains a bit each day, it seems like. Which I don't like rain, but I like it more than smoke. Hazardous smoke.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I'll say real quick before we start the show, I went and saw Wreck-It Ralph 2, and that movie's pretty fun.
Is it as good as the first one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's been the reaction I've heard.
But it's still real good. The first one, I feel like that movie has so much heart. And actually, the second one has a lot of heart, too. Yeah, I think the first one is a tighter movie.
Mhm.
But I will say the ending of the second one is very good. The way they use like the Disney princesses is very funny and clever. And my favorite character, for anyone who has seen it, is this one guy named JP Spamley, who he basically is like the embodiment of like clickbait and like awful ads and just spam on the internet. And he takes Ralph to like the dark web and stuff, and just that character's great, and anything involving JP Stanley is awesome. So there's my 2 cents about Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Cool.
And with that out of the way, let's do a podcast. Top-down perspective for November 30th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I am John Wheeler.
Don't sound too excited there, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm still Paul.
This is my name. I haven't changed it yet.
This is my
okay.
life.
Hi, I'm
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul, you got such a bright hat on. You gotta be happier than that.
Yeah, exactly. That you're the embodiment of an
Yeah.
emoji right now.
You're wearing the most color out of any of us right now. The rest of us are just wearing gray or black.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
I can't
both.
find my.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I'm the saddest.
Okay, well then you can tell us what you've been playing first.
I can. So this week has been just kind of a gong show of trying to get certain stuff to work. Like I'm having issues with my PS4 and it's bugging the hell out of me. But I was able, or not able to, I was finally wanted to get around to playing this weird prototype build of Resident Evil 1 on the Game Boy Color.
I was wondering why you were streaming that out of the blue.
Yeah, it's garbage. It
of
is
course,
fucking
of
terrible.
course it is. Yo,
But,
Capcom was weird trying to put games on the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy Color that shouldn't have been. Because
yeah.
I'll talk about this later. I played Dragon's Lair on the Game Boy Color, which was also Capcom.
Yeah.
So like they just kept doing things they shouldn't.
Dragon's
they love
Lair
the
is
Game
on
Boy.
absolutely everything. I've said this a number of times on the podcast. I own that on just a Blu-ray disc,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
which
it's
I
on
actually
there.
got from the store back in the day. That was for some reason we had taken one in as a used game, and then I bought it for like $5.
Man, that's a pretty good deal for that, honestly.
Sure, yeah.
Like Paul, tell us about Resident Evil Game Boy. Tell us why this game didn't come out.
I mean, because of the limitations, obviously, of the fucking Game Boy, and them trying to put a PlayStation game onto a system that, by this time, people had already like stopped caring about because the new one is coming out.
I will never stop caring about the Game Boy, good sir.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's I don't know what the hell is going on. The problem with it is the
Zombies.
build that is out there is like 80% done. So the last like bit of it is basically the last half of the game has the sprite work hasn't been done, and like a lot of the cleanup, optimization, and animation stuff hasn't been done. So when you kill a zombie, they just kneel down and they just like are gone the next time you enter that room. Just stuff like that where like they would have added in animations for stuff. They also like coded in where items are that you need to progress, but they didn't maybe like do the artwork for them. So there's some spots where it's like, unless you know Resident Evil like the back of your hand, you just can't play this anymore. But like I know that this item is in this corner that isn't indicating anything, so I'm gonna go to that corner and hit the button until it picks it up. Yep, there it is. Let's keep going. Like it's fucking terrible. It's actually unplayable at a point. And I did finish it, except there's no ending. You're just stuck in the final room forever because there's no helicopter to pick you up. The mansion doesn't explode, and you cannot go back down from the heliport pad. You're just stuck there forever. So, but
Just because the game is not finished?
there's no coded ending. Yeah, that's
Right,
just the
okay.
last room with no trigger to finish it. But it's kind of impressive how much they were able to do on that system. Like it's garbage, and it took fans to have the file, put it out in a way that you could actually play it and like have certain things work. Like there are some parts where it's just, oh, they actually never coded this, so we're just going to make it so you don't need this key to get through this door because there's no possible way we can put it in, and just like shit like that. But it's kind of a neat little like archaeological dig through a thing that was just terrible. There's a part where you have Rebecca as Chris to like play the piano, and the piano room perspective has Chris being huge and Rebecca being like
That's the
on
name
a
of our new
different
podcast.
Rebecca's
being
huge.
huge.
No, piano room perspective.
Oh.
piano room perspective. Yeah. And he is like in a top down perspective. Like actually,
And that's the actual name of our podcast.
because the camera angle is like from the top down, and then when
Oh,
she
okay.
comes in, her sprite is just there at like a side perspective, so there's like this weird wonky 3-point perspective going on that doesn't make sense in that room. There's just like issues like that, or like zombies coming through walls because they spawned there, or zombies not being able to chase you through different camera transitions because they weren't coded to. So like you walk into where a camera transition happens and there's just a zombie in your face right away that you can't like get by easily because you can't lure him anywhere. He's just there and you either have to take damage or like try to get around him, just shit like that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot more to talk about there. I also played there was a Resident Evil 2 prototype for the Game Boy Advance that they did as well, which is basically just the very beginning, like streets of Raccoon City up until not even the bus, up until the basketball court after Kendo's shop. And that's like it. But it was just a proof of concept that they might be doing that, and they never finished it. And that like was going to suffer from the same stuff, obviously. Like that beginning 3 minutes of gameplay is fucking terrible on that too. So I think that's around the time that they decided maybe we should knock this out until we can do like an actual port. But
are there any good handheld Resident Evils?
Resident Evil Deadly Silence is probably the best way to play that game. The original one.
Okay, on the DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and depending on who you are, Resident Evil Gaiden's okay. That also depends on who you ask.
It's because it's this weird, almost tactics game. Like, it's stupid. It's so bad, but it's neat. It's a neat idea. They tried. Oh, right. Yeah, and then on the Switch, you have Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, and yeah, so, yeah, there's plenty now that systems have caught up.
Well, I mean, I guess I wasn't really including the Switch or like anything that's kind of like a console handheld. I was thinking like pure handheld. Like there are limitations here.
Yeah, probably DS then. Resident Evil Deadly Silence, or DS for the DS. So, besides like Payday 2, which I don't really have anything new to say about that. That's all I've been playing.
Okay, John, do you want to go?
Sure.
I saw you were playing with Rob. Do you want to talk about Rob at all?
All right, I can talk about that. So, like I said, this week's streams were a little weird. Monday we did game clearing, and Wednesday I did
what's your goal for this year again?
64 games.
So that's coming up. What are you at?
63.
Oh, okay.
So we started games 64 and 65 on Monday. We'll talk about that, and I'll move over to Rob. So I started playing Quest 64 because it was a game I had played as a kid, and I knew it was not the best game. So I was like, all right, I would like to at least see the end of this. So I started playing it on stream, and then that game is notorious for having a system where everything you do builds up like your stats, including walking. So like you have to take hits to gain health, you have to take hits to gain defense. Walking builds up your agility so you can move more in battles, etc., etc. So we played the game for about 40 minutes. I got the game into a loop where I was walking in circles to build up my agility, and then I just faked everyone out and switched over to Bomberman 64 instead.
Okay.
So Bomberman 64 was what we were working on, which is a 3D platformer, well, quote-unquote platformer for Bomberman. It is weird to get used to. It is fun, but it's also very difficult. But that also is partly because I'm playing it on hard, like an idiot. The bosses in that game are awful. Those are some of the worst bosses in games I've seen in a while.
Okay.
Mainly because like the camera is just absolute trash on some of them, so you can't tell what's going on half the time.
Sure.
And then other times the bosses are just so overwhelming that you just can't figure out what to do to avoid their attacks.
And you can't switch back down to normal?
Nope, not without restarting.
Sure. It's an old game, I can see that.
The other problem is, and this is probably the real issue, to get to the real ending of the game and get the last world, you have to get these golden cards. There are 5 per stage. Each world out of 5 has about 4 stages. There's a normal stage, a mini-boss fight, a normal stage, and then the final boss for each world. Each stage has specific requirements, so you have to kill 30 enemies in a normal stage. You have to beat the stage under a specific time limit, and then you have to get 3 random cards that are hidden around the stage. An enemy could be holding them, a block could be holding them, just a bunch of stuff like that. So you have to find them. You don't need to get them all in one loop, thank God, but you do have to get them, period, if you want to get the last world. The bosses, on the other hand, are a bit different because they have specific requirements, and you also have to beat them under a time limit. Mini bosses are
Okay.
usually hit them on the head and they drop a card or just make them take damage and then beat under the time limit. Actual bosses are like, oh, blow up this thing's wings separately, and then its tail, and then its head, and then kill it. So it's just like a lot of weird, strict requirements that just kind of make boss fights a pain in the ass.
Did you beat it?
No, Bomberman, we got to the end of World 3, and then we went back to Quest 64 for a while.
Okay.
And Quest 64 we were very early in. We only made it to like the second town.
And these are the games 64 and 65.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So we're gonna be going back to those every Monday till they're both done and the year's over. And then I'm gonna come up with a new plan for next year for game clearing.
99.
No, I think what I'm gonna do for game
The
clearing
next number
year,
would be 69, right?
There you go, perfect.
Yeah.
No, what I'm probably gonna do for
Sure.
game clearing next year is I'm probably gonna do an A to Z, where I pick.
Oh,
like,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. So it'll be like any
So wait,
system.
you'll do like 24 games?
So I'll do 26. Did you forget how many letters are in the alphabet?
Yes. I mean, you didn't need to mention that, but like here we are. Or maybe I'm just like I'm a 24 truther and I don't believe in two of the letters.
Yeah, a truther.
Fuck Q and X.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need K, we have C, and we could probably get rid of Q as well, honestly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Both of those are pretty like unnecessary.
Yeah.
You can also get rid like X, yeah, just change that to ECK for every word. Not needed. Y,
Yeah,
you can
sure.
make with like I don't know, probably some IE stuff. I'm trying to streamline our alphabet here.
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
Yep.
Your time in Silicon Valley is treating you well.
Yep.
So that's the plan for next
big
year.
ideas.
That's the plan for next year. Wednesday we did a weird controller stream. So I found like all these weird controllers I had, including Rob the Robot. What else did we do? I have a hand-sized DDR controller that I put down on a table and just kind of like danced on it with my hand instead.
That's weird.
It is
Who
weird.
made that? Why would anyone want that?
I don't know, but it exists. You can hold
Sure.
it and like play it like this, but like it's still a DDR pad. It's really weird.
What does it plug into?
Huh.
Just the PS1 port.
Okay, and all right.
It like you can use it for PS1 or PS2 games.
I want to recommend a weird controller.
All right.
You should play one of those DS Guitar Hero games where they had like the finger.
Everyone
fret
wants
thing.
me to do that, and I can't
Oh, okay.
because my DS does not have, my 3DS that has the capture unit doesn't have a Game Boy Advance port.
Right. Okay.
Mm.
All
So
right.
you need the.
I was just
GBA
trying to
port.
think of a weird one. Yeah.
But you're
that's
right.
true.
That's a good idea. I just wish I could do
They
it.
came out with 2 of those, I believe.
3 Band Hero also got a port.
Amazing. That's weird.
I know it's super strange.
How did Band Hero work? Was it still the same
Same thing.
controller?
Yeah.
Like, how do you play the drums? Just they put it on like, I don't know. Okay, they made it a guitar, I guess.
I guess. Trying to think of what else. I wrote it all down and I forgot it all. Actually, no, I got the list still. We played this weird PS2 game called Yanya Kabbalista City Skater, which is a skateboarding game where they give you a little toy fingerboard. I don't know if you remember those, like the tech decks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yep.
But it attaches to the top of the PS2's control sticks.
Okay, that I'd never
And then
heard
you
of.
hold the
Okay.
controller sideways, and then you like move forward on the sticks to do your tricks. It's really bad.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
really
sure.
bad, especially when you have to do twist moves and you twist so hard that the stick falls off, or the skateboard falls off, so then it doesn't actually work anymore. What the hell?
Right.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
Is there any like lift at all? Like, how do you do like an ollie?
You don't. No, you do. Like,
Because
You ha-
in an ollie, it requires half the board. It requires the board to be tilted in some way. So how would
Ollie
you go up?
requires clicking back on the thumbstick. Yeah, on the left thumbstick.
Oh, hitting like L3. Okay, I guess that
Yeah.
would actually make it into a slight angle. Okay.
Yeah. But you have to do it on ramps, otherwise it doesn't quite count. I mean, it works if you do it off a ramp, but it's not as good. You don't get as much air, so you can do your sick tricks, bro.
Okay. All right. What does Tony Hawk have to say about that? That's what I want to know.
They're probably better. Tony Hawk Shred's probably better, honestly, and
Yep.
Ride. I'm sad. We had actually planned to do Tony Hawk Shred, and
Okay.
the battery connectors on the skateboard corroded. Can't,
Oh, great.
Can't
That
use
sucks.
it. Can't use it. But we did the next best thing right after that, which was babysitting Mama. So we got to play that the giant baby.
Sure.
That
Okay.
game is weird, but like good.
Okay.
If
Alright.
you've played Cooking Mama, it's just that, but for babies. So you cook the babies and you make sure you put the right seasoning in. And
Sure.
Mhm.
Yep.
no, like
course.
it's literally the Cooking Mama character, and she's like, "All right, we're gonna babysit some random babies," and you have to burp the baby, like rock the baby to put it to sleep, feed it. And
Was this
change
on the
diapers.
Wii?
This is on the Wii.
Yeah, so you put the Wiimote in like a stuffed animal, a stuffed baby, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Right.
That reminds me of that one mini game in 1-2 Switch. It's actually the worst one, and I know, like, how do you pick one worst game?
I know,
in
that's
1-2
impressive.
Switch? But the worst one is, I think it's just called Baby. You can't play it in a party setting. It's not multiplayer. It's the only one that isn't multiplayer, which that should also tell you something. So if you're playing 1-2 Switch by yourself, you can play Baby, and you have to just like cradle the Switch and rock it, and not too hard because you don't want to like upset the theoretical baby that is in your Switch.
Yeah, it's bad. But like,
Is there a good game, a good video game that focuses entirely on babies?
No.
I almost went Rugrats, but then I don't think there's a good Rugrats game either.
Those are probably the best of the choices.
Which is sad.
Maybe they made a game
Imagine
about,
Party Babies. What about that?
I haven't played them. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe they made a game off that cartoon Super Diaper Babies.
Someone in the chat said Yoshi's Island. I guess that's probably the closest, honestly.
I guess you're not playing as. I guess in none of the games you're playing as the baby.
I mean, you do at certain points.
In what?
In Yoshi's Island.
In Yoshi's Island? Oh, do you?
There's literally a power-up where you're only controlling Baby Mario.
Okay, I guess not in the Yoshi's Island games that I've played, I guess. All right. Yoshi's Island, I guess that's the winner, sure.
Other than that, we played Kirby Tilt and Tumble.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah, so Sean, you're super familiar with this because like you grew up with it too. But this is
I haven't played it in years, so don't ask me something real specific.
No, I'm not going to do that. So it's a tilt-controlled base game for the Game Boy Color where you had to like flick your Game Boy and like tilt it around to roll Kirby around a board.
Yeah, flick them over jumps and gaps and stuff.
Problem is, if you want to screen capture that, you can't use a Game Boy Color or anything like that. You have to use the Game Boy player on the GameCube. So what we did was we put the game into a GameCube, removed the disc from the GameCube, and then started shaking the GameCube to tilt it, and it works.
That's insane. I had never thought about that. That's crazy.
It is good weight training because I forgot how heavy a GameCube can feel after you've been doing this.
But that's why
for
the
about half an
handle's
hour.
there, right? I mean, they were forward thinking.
A little bit. I mean, I was holding it sideways so I could do it. Here's the other problem is you still need to press A every now and then on the game. So
you also need a controller.
Yes, you have to do this and hold a controller at the same time. I put it on webcam for like Wednesday stream. It's literally just me doing this. It's awful.
That's you should have like duct taped a controller to the top of the GameCube.
Apparently, what the speedrunner does is they just use a DDR Mario pad and just step on like the button for A.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which makes way more sense.
If you're a pussy, I guess. Or you could do, or you could duct tape a GameCube controller to the top of your GameCube.
You know what? I'm with Sean on this one, actually. Come at us, GDQ runner.
All right, Jesus. Anyways, yeah, so that's a good workout regimen if you want to work out your wrists and your hands.
Sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was all we did for the Weird Controller stream. I have a couple other ones planned for in the future. But we did those, and then we did... I mean, that's all we did on stream, because tomorrow we're doing Lethal League Blaze and Jackbox 5 for Sub-Night. But
I like Jackbox 5.
Yeah, it's actually got really good games in it. I think... There's one game that no one wanted to play with. It's like the one that apparently is only good for local.
One of the games, I forget what it's called, but it's literally just like it's an actual mini game. Like it's not a creative thing in any way or a trivia thing in any way, and it sucks.
That's the one.
That's the name of it. Yeah,
it's like Death Ball or something like that.
Yeah, it is super lame, that one. The rest are fine. I love that You Don't Know Jack is back, but it's actually, I don't think it's a great version of You Don't Know Jack. So I have mixed feelings on that part. But
I think it's fine. I like what they did with the screws. I think what they did for the screws this time around was really funny.
I don't, because they're like they don't make it hard. They're funny for sure, but it's like they're so easy to ignore when you get screwed.
Did you get the license and agreement one?
Yes. And that one changes based on like how well you're doing in games. So I remember when it was done against me, I was like in last place. So my license was really short.
Oh, okay.
But other people had super long ones and whatnot. I guess what we should explain, because no one knows what we're talking about. The screws originally would cut the time down you had to answer to like 5 seconds. The screws this time, they do something weird to your phone, which can do stuff like flip the answers upside down or take the vowels out. Like both of the ones I just mentioned, easy to ignore. You can still answer pretty easily. You can also look at the screen and it looks normal on the TV screen. One John just mentioned, the license and agreement one, it gives you this extremely long EULA. I guess depending on how well you're doing in the rankings, you have to like scroll through it and get to like the accept button before you get back to your answers. So yeah, I'll agree with you. Some of them are funny, but a lot of them are easy to ignore. It was my issue.
That's fair. I like the drawing one this time around is pretty good too.
The one where you make you have an idea and you invent something. Yeah, that one's very good. I also really like the rap.
The rap battle one's pretty good, but some of those prompts they give you are real stupid. They're so hard to work with sometimes. And what's the other one? There's 5.
Split the Room.
Split the Room.
Which I also like Split the Room. I think it has a good I like the aesthetics, like this fun Twilight Zone thing. And it's basically just create a would you rather. And I like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We were 50-50 on that one, but we like the other 3.
Then it's doing exactly as intended, right? I guess.
Exactly.
I guess, yeah.
There's the meta.
Touche. Other than that, the only other thing I've been playing this mobile game called Sega Heroes. So this is
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, so this is a match 3 RPG done by the guys apparently who did like Marvel Heroes and stuff like that. It's all Sega character themed. So you're going through like a story mode, fighting a villain, trying to get all these characters back to their home world, but you get sent characters from all these different Sega games. Like there's like 8 Sonic the Hedgehog characters. There's characters from Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Phantasy Star, and like it's like a match RPG where you level up your characters. They have super moves and stuff like that. You have to like build the best team based on the color that they give you. There's 4 different colors for characters: red, blue, yellow, and green.
And then it's free to play?
Yes.
How bad is the free to play?
It's pretty rough at times. I've managed to play through without spending any money, but there's a power creep in that game pretty hard at times. They really want you to. I've been lucky that apparently when I started playing, they also started being a bit more generous with characters. Like today, they gave us 4 characters if you didn't have them already.
Cool.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. They keep adding things whenever you level up. There's like a couple new modes you can do, and it looks like they're still working on it pretty hard. Apparently, every month they're adding new characters. So in the next week or 2, we're going to see who the next set of characters are.
All right.
It's cool. Okay. It's frustrating at times because some of the enemies you fight are just frustrating. They literally have an enemy whose skill is, it just has a high chance of evading. That's it. You don't know how high a chance. You just know that they can just evade.
Cool. Great.
Yeah. So like I've definitely like been pulling out my hair on some of them because I'm just like, this should work. I just did like a 20-hit combo, and maybe 3 hits landed.
Right.
And just stuff like that. But
is there a way you could have like paid to make that fight easier?
Nope.
Oh, really? Because I thought that's what they would probably do, like power you up or something.
The pay to win you can do is like you can get stronger characters, or you can make your character stronger. But like an enemy having like X amount of chance to evade is standard no matter what.
Okay, so I guess for that specific one, you couldn't beat it, but being able to make your character stronger would definitely help.
Yeah.
In like every other scenario.
Yeah,
I
like
guess.
you would kill it in less hits, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm enjoying it, but at times I'm just like I hope they still balance this, and it seems like they are. They've been balancing some things for better, for worse. So it's all right. If you like Sega characters, check it out.
Here's a good question. How much would you pay for it to remove all of the free to play stuff and just be like a regular game?
I don't know.
Would you have paid $3?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like because a lot of games will have that, like they'll take out all the ads and everything for like $1 or $2.
Yeah, like there's no ads in this thing. It's literally like buy gems.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Gems let you buy other characters, etc.
Yeah. I just wish more free to play games had that option. And I understand why they wouldn't want that, because they could get so much more out of you by having you continuously pay a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's definitely games where I'll be like, I'd give them $5 if I just did not have to ever put up with this bullshit again.
No, I don't blame you on that. Yeah.
Especially when there's like timers. Is there timers? Like you can't play for 2 hours or something?
Oh yeah, there's a stamina meter.
Great, yeah. And that's specifically.
The stamina meter is real bad in this one. You get 1 piece of stamina every 10 minutes, and it takes minimum 10 pieces of stamina to actually do a stage.
Yeah, fun, cool.
Yeah. I think I got spoiled by Record Keeper back when I played it, because Record Keeper was a lot more generous with stamina.
Sure. Well, some games do free to play better than others.
Yeah. The one good thing about this game is that they give you 4 or 8 free chests a day, and the free chests have stamina boost inside of them. But like it's still like you have the loot stages to get pieces to level up your characters, and even then it takes a lot of pieces, and it takes stamina to do the looting, same as it would be just to play a stage. So,
right.
Like I said,
Did you guys ever get Dragalia Lost up there for reals?
I don't know.
I thought I've seen Canadians playing it. Let me check.
I was just gonna say that I actually didn't run into They have stamina meters and that, but I didn't run into them too much. However, I was only really playing for like maybe 30 minutes at a time on like the train. So I guess maybe that.
It still isn't up here.
That's so weird. That is such a long split. Because didn't that come out in like?
That's been out for like 2 months.
Was it August?
Yeah,
August, September. I think it was September-ish. Yeah, something like that.
I can get the Dragalia Lost Guide app that someone wrote.
Sure. Oh, I'm sure you can also get a knockoff that's somewhere on your Android store, and you can probably get 10 of them.
Yeah, the first thing that came up was Fire Emblem Heroes. But Dragalia itself is not on the Canadian Play Store yet.
Weird. All right, have you played anything else?
That's it for me. Well, so there is one more thing, but we'll be talking about that after the podcast.
Sure, yes, of course. I'm going to start with Dropmix. Picked up Dropmix because it dropped again to $30 on Cyber Monday. And I was like, that's the price I've been waiting for. Let's do it. Let's play some Dropmix. I also picked up a bunch of card packs. So I got maybe 3? No, 2. I think I got 2 playlist packs and 2 discovery packs. First off, I'll say getting the cards out of the packaging is an absolute nightmare. Oh my
god, yes. It is the worst.
Oh my god.
They're so covered in tape.
They are so covered in tape, and they're covered like through like 2 layers of cardboard plus like the plastic around it. It's insane. So not only does it take a while to get in there, but when you do get in there, your hands are all sticky from all this tape that you didn't even realize you were touching tape at one point. And then the cards, they're not very sturdy. Like they don't feel like a trading card game card where they're like a little, there's that shine to it. They have like that special. They just feel like really cheap cardboard, and they look like really cheap cardboard because when you stack them up, they do not sit very flat. They'll be kind of bent because you just tackled your way into this box.
I'd say the other reason for that is they've got AR chips inside, so they can't actually lay flat.
Some of them lay flat.
No, they've got chips sticking out that just make it so if you stack them, they kind of feel a little off balance. Okay, all right. Anyway, they're weird cards, so you got to be like a little delicate when you are, cramming your way into getting these cards out. And then the really exciting thing, I was talking to John about this, is he explained to me that it's impossible to get duplicates unless you try to get duplicates.
because as long as you buy different stuff, you won't get any duplicates. There's the booster packs, but they're set up so that you'll know what is in each booster pack. So unless you're trying to get duplicates, you won't get duplicates. On Cyber Monday, Amazon was selling Discovery Pack 1 and 2 for like half price or whatever the deal was, which means they would send you one of each of the booster packs for that set. So you should be able to get all of Series 1, no duplicates, because there's 6 different card packs in Series 1. Somehow the Amazon person I got sent me 2 of the same one and not one that I needed. So I have duplicates and I'm missing cards, which is a huge bummer. And it's like, I don't even know how to like. So John, I was talking to you and I confirmed I do have 5 cards that are the same. I am missing this one specific pack. And it's like, who do I even talk to about this? Because I'm going to do I contact Amazon and be like, okay, listen, I need to explain to you what Dropmix is. You probably barely know what Xbox is, but just hear me out. There's these cards, but there's like 6 packs, but they're different. So I need you to send me the one that has the red squiggle on the front. Because that's like they're not numbered or anything either. It's just like, this has this picture, so I know what's in this one.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I just send me a whole, like a replacement for this pack, this series of packs, like Discovery 1. And what I plan to do is just rip my way into the one I need. I'm going to put my duplicates back in that, and then I'm just going to ship them all back. And then I doubt anyone's going to care because this is a $5 investment. But that's the other thing. I can't even make it easy on myself. I can't go to a store and buy these because no one holds Dropmix anymore. And I can't buy things from Amazon because if you try to buy a specific booster pack, it straight up says cards may vary, and you can't pick like, oh, I need the red squiggle one. It's I'm getting one of the Discovery, I guess. Hopefully it's the right one. I'm not just gonna keep ordering it and sending them back until the red squiggle one shows up. I'm not made of money and time. So anyway, that's supposed to show up tomorrow, and then I'll finally have my cards. But anyway, Dropmix is still fun. John, I don't know if you knew this. They did an update in the summer, and there's a puzzle mode, single player mode now.
Yeah, I have heard about that. I forget what it's actually called.
It's called puzzle mode.
No, is it? I thought it had like a fancy name.
On the main menu, when it says like party and stuff, it just says puzzle one player.
Okay.
Because I was watching the tutorial for it yesterday, so I planned to try that out. But I'm glad to hear that someone is still working on Dropmix. There's one person at Harmonix who really likes Dropmix and is keeping it going. So that's good to hear. That's a fun game. That's a silly fun game. I wish it had done better. It deserves better, in my opinion.
I mean, that's the thing. Same thing you can say for pretty much anything Harmonix has made.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. I've also been playing a whole bunch of Moonlighter on my Switch, and that game is just so good and so well designed. Like, there's so many things that they'll add in as you progress, and then kind of the way they teach you this stuff is really well implemented. For example, like I wasn't using the wish list system for a while. And then I started like, oh, I'm going to see what happens when I do wish list like an item. And then when I get like the components I need to craft a new spear, they'll be like starred. And it's like, oh, this is like, it is so well presented. One thing that I do wish was presented a little bit better is when you get quests from customers, I wish those items would also be like starred or pointed out so I don't accidentally sell them, because I have to keep going back and be like, okay, wait, which did they want again? And I wish they even told me like how many of them I currently have, because you can like someone will come up to your counter and be like, hey, can you get me 4 seed buds or whatever? It's like, yeah, sure, I have, and you have like 3 days to do that. And as you go to any kind of like building or crafting spot, anything that you have back at your house in a chest is kind of also in your inventory. You don't need to like carry it to the person, which is great. But there's no way for me to like cross-reference, do I have enough of what you're asking for? I can't even go back to the quest. I literally need to like search around my chests and be like, okay, wait, I have a 1 seed bud there. I'm carrying 1. And oh, actually there was 2 in this other chest. So I guess I do have 4. Or I could have just talked to her when she returned and hoped I had enough. That part's kind of a bummer. And it's weird because they do so much good information for the rest of the game that's why this one's sticking out so much.
Weird oversight. Yeah.
Apart from that though, I'm loving it. I hate the people who steal from me. Like, man, get out of my shop, dude. You're the worst. And every time one of them comes in, I'm like, oh, here's that dude with the axe. I'm just gonna follow you around my store. And I wish you could tackle them beforehand, but I also just love the idea that the only way to stop them from stealing from you is once they pick something up, you have to tackle them, and that's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the second dungeon. Game's good. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I really recommend Moonlighter. And the last thing I've been playing this week is I went through the first DLC pack for Destiny 2 because I picked up like all 3 DLCs during Black Friday. So I went through Curse of Osiris, and that's fine. I still like Destiny. I equipped the new loot. The numbers go up. I shoot the robots. The numbers go up. And it's like Destiny is basically turned into just like a comfort game for me, where it's just like I'm gonna get a cool new gun, and then I'm gonna get another cool new gun, and I'm just gonna keep doing this. And there's gonna be robots all everywhere. So, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the final boss of that pack. I think Curse of Osiris is all about like replaying it and kind of grinding through this procedurally generated area called the Infinite Forest, which that's actually kind of a bummer in my opinion, because a lot of the level of the missions just send you back to the Infinite Forest, and the Infinite Forest does change in how it's laid out, but it all kind of looks the same. So it does get repetitive. And as someone who has no interest in grinding Destiny whatsoever, I doubt I'll ever go back to the Infinite Forest, so it's kind of not really for me in what it's trying to do. But I could definitely see that being appealing for people that like they play Destiny every week. It's like I'm just going to group up and we're going to go to the Infinite Forest and we're going to see a new area, or we're going to like play through a new layout of an area, I guess. But yeah, and after this, I'm going to go play Warmind. I think is the next one. I think Warmind is the next one, and then it's Forsaken. Also, I just remembered another game, and it's actually probably like the best one I played this week. I can't believe I forgot about it. I've been playing Astro Bot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is the PlayStation VR game based on Astro Bot, and you're like, hey, who's Astro Bot? And it's like he was the little robot that would fly and hover around when you would boot up PlayStation VR, the Playroom app, and then people were just streaming themselves having sex.
Right.
Yeah. So he was the robot that would just hang out while these two people were doing it. He has his own game now. A lot less sex. In fact, there's no sex in Astro Bot. But Astro Bot is very good. Like, I want to say like it's shockingly good, but I was hearing so much hyperbole for this game beforehand. So many people were like praising this game. I kind of knew what to expect, but like Astro Bot is such a fun time. It's very reminiscent of like Mario 3D Land and 3D World, in which perspective is very key. You can't move the camera in any way, and then they play on like putting your character in a weird spot and playing with how the perspective is set up and whatnot.
That's cool. I like.
So I was definitely getting a lot of vibes from that way. There's a lot of like, hey, when you start a level, you got to like turn around 180 degrees because there's probably something hidden behind you. Every time Astro Bot comes running past you, he'll like wave to you. Like it is just like so cute and charming. You're instead of like finding like big coins like in Mario games, you're finding like other Astro Bots. The whole game is you're like tracking down all your Astro Bot friends. And the way you find them is when you come across, you'll hear them like little crying out like, help me, help me. And then you got to get your way over there. Then you literally need to like kick them so that they fly into your actual controller. And then they'll just start like dancing, and they have a dance party in your controller. And every time you get one more Astro Bot, they'll like join in. And now you got 2 guys, and they'll be like, whoa, yeah, we're in the controller now. They do a lot of there's a lot of like gimmicky stuff. And I kind of, I don't want to actually call it gimmicky. I say it's gimmicky because it's like, these are the things you can do with VR. Like they're going to make you move your head forward so you smash a block with your head. Stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
Which sounds like a gimmick, but this game does them in like such like non-obtrusive and like actually like joyful ways that at no point I'm like, oh, here we go again. I've got to dodge the guy shooting stuff at my face. Like it's actually kind of cool when you're like traversing around and like what is essentially a bullet bill hits your face and your screen cracks. And it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then the crack just like goes away because this is a game for like all ages. Like it's very easy.
Yeah.
It gets hard when you want to like collect everything, which is what I like. It's kind of has the Mario thing. Anyone of all ages can get through a Mario level, but unless you're going for those big coins, you're not getting the real challenge and stuff like that. So yeah, and it does a really good job of just like, we're gonna pull the wall away at this point, and then there's gonna be a whole bunch of like really big creatures right in your face, and like I think every level so far, I've literally said like wow to myself. There has been something that I've been like, that was awesome. This is cool. Like there's a really great underwater level where there's just like robot dolphins swimming all around you. There's a cool like World 1-3 is like this underground mine level, and there's just dancing mushrooms everywhere, and the ending of that's really good. The music's really awesome. Astro Bot is a super fun time, and it's a shame that like no one will play this game.
Yeah.
Like
very few people.
Like absolutely no one. So but the nice thing is on Black Friday they had the PlayStation VR bundles down to 200 with a pack in for Astro Bot and Moss, which that's a like a banging combo right there. Those are like the only two VR games that I like. Those are the top two, I should say. There are other VR games I like. Those are the top two. That's a great pack right there.
Would you say Astro Bot is the killer app for VR, for PSVR?
I don't want to say like you should get a PlayStation VR for Astro Bot, but
okay.
I would say if you have PlayStation VR,
then yes,
you need Astro Bot. Like
it's not a seller though for VR. By
VR is
itself.
just way too expensive. Like there's basically nothing that there's no console where I'd say this is worth spending $200-$300 on.
Yeah,
you know, I love Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. I'm not going to say buy a Switch just to play one or two games. That's absurd. Right. But like Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild, if you have a Switch, how do you not have those two games? Like, what are you doing?
Oh, I got Breath of the Wild on Wii U. That's why.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense at least there.
That's a technicality. That's a technicality.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's cheating, Paul.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, like yeah, again, it's just a shame how few people will play this. Also because it's like it's not a known IP. It seems like almost like childish. Even people with PlayStation VRs are probably going to pass this over, and it's like that is such like a missed thing. This is such like a great kind of like Mario-esque platformer. Like it is up there with Mario games. 3D Mario platformers in my way. And it's actually really great for like people that aren't super great with video games. My girlfriend's never really good with controlling the right stick, the camera on the right stick.
Sure. Yeah.
Just she doesn't have that like muscle memory, that visual spatial awareness that we've like built up from, you know, our whole lives playing games. Sure. This locks your camera to your head. So that's just, now it's easy. All you got to move is Astro Bot, and then it'll just move you forward when you like go far away enough. So that solves that. So that's really great.
Cool.
One complaint that I will say is there's an encouragement for you to collect all these Astro Bots and all the coins and stuff and see everything. There is like a weird gating of when you make it far enough in a level, it'll kind of move your view forward, and then you can't go back.
Okay.
So there's definitely been times where I was like, man, I know I'm missing somebody, but these levels are kind of like constantly pushing you forward a little bit. Not like Mario style scrolling levels, but there's just like, as you move forward, you will not be able to return, which is a bit of a bummer. But each stage takes maybe 10 minutes the first time through, maybe 15 if you're like really exploring. So it's easy enough to just like play it again.
Sure.
So, yeah. Again, that was Astro Bot. That's all I've been playing. Let's do some news. All right. You guys remember Elder Scrolls Blades?
Yep.
That was the mobile game that was supposed to come out this year. It's being delayed to early 2019.
Okay.
Probably for the best.
I mean, if they need more time, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone.
Well, everyone's freaking out about 76, so kind of like I feel like they need to make sure this one's ready.
Sure. Yep.
Sure.
I was looking forward to it. I'm curious how it runs, and now that I got my new iPhone, it should run amazing on this thing. But I am always for games. You know, if you need the delay, take the delay. I don't need the game right now. I got plenty of other stuff I need to play.
Totally.
Got some new games coming to Game Pass that I'm definitely excited about. We got Strange Brigade, which I'm looking forward to. The Gardens Between, which I played on the Switch back in the summer. That's a fun puzzle game. And Mutant Year Zero.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
that's the one I'm looking forward to. That's a tactics game like an XCOM, for example.
Okay, very cool. Game Pass, man. I feel like, and I'm actually to go along with what I was just about to say. Let's read the games with gold. This month it is Cube 2. I don't know what that is. It's Never Alone, which is that like Inuit Polar North game.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, that was on PlayStation Plus like 3 or 4 years ago. Dragon Age 2, the 360. And then the very first Xbox original game to hit gold is Mercenaries.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I think Game Pass is where they're getting all their like best games now, and gold is suffering.
That's not surprising.
Which is weird, and I guess that would be the way to do it from like a sales perspective, because you're still going to get gold to play online. So then they got to make Game Pass more enticing. They're going to combine these two in the next gen, right? They have to.
I'm sure.
Doesn't that just seem like a slam dunk? Like combine them into one thing?
Yep.
Do you think they keep gold as the name, or do you think they'd keep Game Pass as the name?
Probably, I would think Game Pass, because the pass works with like the online features as well. Like you have a pass to like the internet or like to the network.
That's true. I think I'm with you, but gold has just been here since like the 360. It's been here since the original Xbox.
True.
But yeah, like they got to be combining those at some point, right? That just makes sense.
I hope so. I had issues last month because I wanted to. I don't remember what game it was. It was actually Forza. It was a couple of months ago. I was getting my Game Pass set up, but I didn't have gold anymore. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I hate that. This is two different things. Like,
sure.
Why? Just give me one thing to click on and put my card number in.
Even if the price works out to you're not getting any kind of deal, but just let me deal with one number as opposed to two.
Yeah, because it's like, no, you have Game Pass, but you still can't play. Why? Because you don't have gold, so you can't like log into our thing. Okay, here we go.
No, you're totally right. It's weird.
Yeah.
Obsidian up on their website has a countdown to a special message. This is just obsidian.net. It expires in 5 days and 21 hours from the time of this recording, which is the Game Awards.
Sure.
So they're probably going to announce a new game at the Game Awards.
Cool. I'm in. I love Obsidian.
Bagel.
Sure. And Microsoft owns them now, so they're going to have that money.
Yep. That's true.
Continuing on, this news of the week. Professor Layton 2 is coming to iOS and Android in Japan at the moment, but we'll get it there sooner or later because they all make it over here eventually. And that's fantastic. The best DS franchise is they're continuing to bring those on phones. That's great. That first game was $7 over the Black Friday weekend. I almost bought it again because that's super cheap.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So that's great. Public service announcement.
Yeah.
Minecraft story mode is on Netflix. We knew this was coming. We knew this is what their like skeleton crew at Telltale was still working on. This had been announced such a long time ago that they were going to try and bring Telltale games to Netflix. They have now gone live. Episodes 1, 2, and I believe 3. I don't remember seeing 3, but I remember seeing the first 2. They're there. So they're basically free if you have Netflix. They're bringing the other 2 episodes next week. I loaded it up. It works. They do a quick little intro about like, this is how you're going to play one of these games, and you just tap the screen. I'm assuming if you're doing this on a computer, you could use your mouse. I'm assuming on a TV, you could maybe use the remote.
Sure.
But anyways, you can just play Minecraft story mode through Netflix, and that's a weird thing. But that's kind of cool.
With this on Netflix, people streaming it, are they streaming like a copywritten TV show now,
I see what
or
you're
a
talking
game?
about. Yeah, 'cause that's gonna have HDCP.
Right. That's weird. There's a
Probably,
weird gray
you
area.
can't stream Netflix, right?
No, you can't. Well, you can get
Instead of-
around.
yeah.
You can get around it, but like you would get in major legal trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the exact same way. Because even when you like search for this, like they don't have a new like umbrella for video games in Netflix. It just shows up like
Yeah.
TV shows and movies, and then this will be in there.
It's this weird gray area where I could see somebody making the argument that it's okay or trying to, and then getting fucked. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it is the first thing to do this. There's not a lot of other games that could even probably get away with this, like maybe the Life is Strange games.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing that you can do now.
Totally.
That PlayStation Classic it's almost out, right? It's not out yet.
And
December.
Yeah, somewhere in December, I think.
Early December, yeah. It has been found out that a good chunk of those games are the PAL versions, so they run slow.
Weird. Okay.
Including the fighting game for some reason. Tekken 3
Right.
is one of the ones.
Yeah. So
Oh.
this game, PlayStation Classic comes with 20 games, I believe.
Yes.
All right, 9 of them are the PAL versions. So almost half the games will run slow from what you remember, because they're running at like 50 hertz as opposed to 60 hertz. Those 9 are Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Grand Theft Auto, Jump and Flash, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Tekken 3, and Rainbow Six.
So Resident
Tekken
Evil.
3, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This
So,
is weird. This
Some
is such
some
a weird.
people, I know some people were speculating this was because of like maybe language compatibility or something. Apparently, even some of these versions are not the language pack ones. Like straight up, these are just English only 50 hertz games for some reason.
I can't think of why this would have happened. Like, was there a weird licensing issue with the North American version?
More than likely, that's probably it.
That I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Everything I hear about the PlayStation Classic, it sounds like a huge bummer.
Yeah.
I know Peter Brown at GameSpot, his article straight up, or his review straight up, says like, "Prepare to be disappointed." Is like the tagline
Great.
of it. Are you getting one of these, John?
I've been debating it because of things like this, so I don't know.
You specifically probably have all these games and have the system hooked up.
I actually don't have all these games,
Oh, okay.
but I do have the system hooked up. You are correct.
Yeah.
I have a PS2 anyways, so.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't know. What reason would you get this?
Niche factor. Say I have
Yeah.
it. Because it's probably going to be like the NES and SNES Classic, where they were just a pain in the ass to find, and then they like sold for like triple their price online.
But those are super easy to find now.
Now they are. It just took 2 years.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. How much is it up there for you guys? It's probably like 130.
130.
130.
Yeah.
It's a bitter pill to swallow, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. It's a rough one.
I'm definitely not getting this. I also don't have the nostalgia factor for this one.
Gotcha.
These were not the PlayStation games that I was playing. Where's Tony Hawk 1? How is that not on there?
Music licensing issues.
No, I totally get it. But like,
Yeah.
this is a PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yep.
But at least they have Rainbow Six, right?
Hooray.
Yep. They sure do.
Non-analog stick Rainbow Six.
Amazing.
Anyway, yeah, that's almost coming out. And Japan is getting a weird giant amiibo box. John, you're going to try and get one of these as an amiibo collector.
Wait, what?
So for Smash, Japan is putting out a box of amiibos that has 63 of them,
What? I have not seen this.
which is apparently almost the entire roster. I forget how many Pokemon.
It's missing the new ones, is by the looks of it. It looks like
No,
it's just...
PD Piranha's there, bottom right.
You're right, actually. Oh, never mind. Then I'm wrong.
Maybe just some of the characters in Smash don't have an amiibo.
Oh, it's probably the ones that aren't out yet, like Ice Climbers and
Incineroar's probably no. Ice Climbers is in there. I can see it. Second row, just underneath Kirby.
That's weird.
Where's Wii Fit Trainer? I can't see her.
She is right beside Rosalina, third column near the bottom beside Mega Man.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
This set will be limited to 50
Man, I'm good at this. Say another
units.
character. I'll spot him immediately.
50 units. There's only 50 of these they're selling.
Yeah. So are you gonna get one?
No.
Niche factor. Come on, dude. You said it yourself.
I could probably just get the cardboard box ordered. I already have all the other things.
You probably already have a cardboard box. You could paint it.
You're right. I could.
You could make your own and be like, this is John's amiibo box. And there's only one.
Special edition.
Is this getting anything else? Like, are any of these new? Like, what are you missing out by not having this?
I mean, Ridley, K. Rool, Splatoon.
But those will come out eventually, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like there's anything exclusive to this thing.
No. The cardboard.
Why would anyone want this?
Because they don't have them. It's literally for people who don't have them.
Play catch up with.
But only 50 people.
Which is a little odd, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just repurposed Labo cardboard and they just needed to get it out there?
Maybe.
Anyway, that's on Amazon Japan. It's not available yet, but I'm sure it'll sell out immediately. And then this article links me to Amazon Japan, but not the page listing. Maybe it doesn't have a page listing yet. All right. That's going to do it for news.
Nope. You skip PS Plus.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My bad.
Especially because it has a game that I'm actually looking forward to playing for.
Onrush, right?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Well, I thought you were going to say Soma.
I've played Soma.
Oh, okay. Onrush is great. Onrush and Soma are two of the games. Then it's Iconoclasts and Papers, Please.
Yep.
Sounds like maybe some Warframe stuff as well. I don't know.
Yes.
The version of the game doesn't play with the other one, so why would you play that version?
Yeah.
Anyways, Onrush is great. You should play that. Free is a very good price for Onrush.
Oh, I will be. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Onrush has been on. I think it's on Games. It's pretty sure it's on Games with Gold or Game Pass. I mean, see, it should just be one thing. Anyway,
It should be.
Onrush is good. That's a good game. All right, now news is done. Let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address. At TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box are all great ways to send questions in. I will read this first one from Micaiah. He has two, or she has two. They have two. One, do you think there's a chance that Sony and or Microsoft will try and make their own version of the Switch? If so, would you get it? If you are, is it for work or because you actually trust it to be a good system?
Oh, yeah, Sony's definitely going to do it.
See, I was going to say Sony's not going to do it. They've tried twice now, and it does not work.
I don't know, but Nintendo's proved that it can work, so I don't know.
Sure. But, yeah. I still don't think Sony would try it like a third time. That's my opinion. And I think Microsoft is busy playing catch up to the PS4. I don't think they would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they said
Not
they're also
anytime
working on
soon.
2 different Xbox SKUs, so I'm also wondering what the hell those are going to be.
Yeah.
Hi, Bagel.
I think Sony could try it. Honestly, I could see it.
Well, the Vita is so similar to the Switch, except for the part where it can like plug in, and no one bought a Vita.
Here, yeah, that's true.
Here, yeah, but everyone's buying a Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you guys don't think Microsoft would do it like anytime ever?
I don't think so. No. If anything, I could see Microsoft like selling the rights for a third party to do something with their like OS on it or something.
Or
but
combining it with like a Surface or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they would just make one though. No.
That's a good point. Microsoft is definitely focusing on their like streaming efforts with the PC. So I think, and you know, Sony is too. So I think instead of this is what's probably going to happen. Instead of coming up with their own version of the Switch, they're just going to get their games working on an iPad through a streaming system like the Steam Link for Android devices, and then you can you Bluetooth one of the Bluetooth controllers, which is the PS4 and the Xbox One, to your iPad. You're playing it there wherever you go.
Sure.
I think that's more likely.
Yep, agreed.
Bagel. Buddy, gotta go down. He's hungry and no one's available to feed him, so.
Oh, I think Sean's muted.
Okay, for a second I thought Bagel had muted something and I got real concerned.
No, I thought I disconnected for a second. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Second question. What company out there who isn't currently making gaming consoles would you trust to make a gaming console? For the sake of argument, let's say that smartphone tablet manufacturers aren't making gaming consoles, and the company doesn't even need to be involved in gaming, just tech mechanics, a Tesla game system, anyone? So I think he's basically saying is don't consider your phone a gaming console.
Right.
So you could say Apple could get into it and stuff like that.
Oh,
I feel like there's always rumors of Google and Apple making a console.
Yeah.
Like that you would trust to make a gaming console? Yeah, I mean, Google, Apple, any company willing to spend a whole bunch of money and probably just toss it away for nothing, but it doesn't matter. I would probably trust to do it because they have the resources.
I think they'd have to be pretty big to get into it seriously, because if they're not super big, I feel like they would just end up putting out like an Ouya.
Totally.
Or the Intellivision Amico. Whatever that thing ends up being. So I think like Apple's the easy answer.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd do it. But I mean, I like their phones, so I would trust them to do a console.
Sure.
Yeah, Apple. Amazon tried kind of with the Fire. Google.
Yeah, I mean they put some once again Telltale games on it, right? Didn't Firewatch also come to that thing?
Yeah, and then they bought Double Helix. I don't know what they even bothered putting out after that.
Yeah, they're definitely putting out. I think they're putting out games because they have like a game studio inside of Amazon. They have a game engine. What is it called? It's like something about building and wood. They always have a huge booth at like GDC. What is the Amazon engine for games? Lumberyard. That's what it's called.
Oh, wow. Okay, you were kidding.
Yep. No, like I said, like at GDC at least, they have a huge booth because it's for people to build games on. So
sure,
I could see Amazon doing it.
Yep. Agreed. I'll take the next one from Jason, I guess. Which company, Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft, would stand to have the most to gain / least to lose by going to a completely digital game retail model, and the natural inverse, which one would have the least to gain / most to lose? Most to gain or least to lose from going completely digital.
I think that one would be Microsoft because they already have the PC connection.
Oh, yeah, sure. I wasn't even thinking the PC connection way, but yeah, you're right. Yeah. Totally.
Well, because, I mean, with Game Pass and all of their first parties going on both, like, they're already kind of doing that. And apparently they're putting out a discless console next year. So, like, I think the one that would lose the most is Nintendo, just because it'd be harder for, like, parents to, like, buy presents for their kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure. Yeah.
They'll all lose something from losing, like, retail space, but at the end of the day, yeah, I think Microsoft, I
mean, they might lose something, but they might also gain something because they no longer need to give GameStop a cut, and they no longer need to do like packaging costs and shipping costs. So I'm sure they're getting to a part where this is better for us if we stick with digital.
Yeah, I think I agree.
John, are you able to do this one?
I can't.
All right. Then I will do this one from Lade
I might have
Rex.
disappeared in a minute here too, based on how rowdy he's getting. Ow.
If you could cast one magical spell, regardless of series, which spell would you take for general everyday usefulness? Also, as an optional bonus, a spell you'd use as a party trick, and a third spell that you'd want just because.
I would want a teleport of some sort.
I would want to fly. I feel like this is just like, what do you want your superpower to be?
Yeah, it kind of is. I'm trying to think of like a game version of what I want though. Could I just have the portal gun?
Sure. Wouldn't you rather just be able to like teleport and you not have to carry around the gun? Because I mean, there's teleportation in games.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of doesn't count because it's a magical spell anyway that we're saying. Not.
I mean, you could be like infusing a gun with magic with this spell. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like this second part and third part are more interesting because they're not just what superpower do you want. So what's a spell you'd want as a party trick?
As a party trick.
Which, to be fair, like, flying and teleporting would be a very good party trick. But I'm trying to think like, be a little more creative. I think anything with fire would probably do pretty good at a party.
So, regardless of series, does it have to be a video game thing? Like, specifically? Because it sounds like when that's used, like, regardless of what series it's from, it sounds like it has to be a video game thing, right? Or does it not?
I don't... Maybe? I don't know. Why? Do you have one that you want to say but you can't because it's not in a video game?
Well... I mean, it's kind of half and half. It's a tabletop, like from D&D. Prestidigitation.
What spell do you want to use at a party?
It's the party spell. So that's probably what I would use.
What does the party spell do?
It's just like a trick. Prestidigitation. It's just like a trick you can do. It's like snuffing out a candle by like snapping your fingers or making a loud whoosh sound or just like stuff that you could use to like intimidate people or like make them laugh or just like little jokes or whatever you could do.
So it's not a specific spell?
It's not like an illusion. It's like a step down from an illusion, basically.
Okay. All right.
It's almost like sleight of hand or something like a magician would do, only instead of like moving cards around like magicians do, you would actually just like change the number on a card. Like stuff like that, like party tricks.
So if you're like, whoa, that was magic, you would just be like, actually, yeah. Yep.
It was.
It was. There was no sleight of hand.
Yeah.
All right. And then a third spell you'd want just because.
Yeah, dramatic magic is the best way to put that for sure. And just because. Trying to think of something fun, but.
Going invisible.
Yeah, probably. Like that would even be my answer for the first one too, probably, because like that's good too. Going invisible or teleporting / flying, I think, are like key.
Telekinesis would also be very cool.
Telekinesis would.
See, actually, I'm wondering. That's always my answer for the first one because I feel like I can just get flying if I say telekinesis because I just move myself.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't think I would need to teleport as much even if I could just bring things to me using my mind.
I think about that. Yeah, I think about telekinesis would be cool. Yeah, I'll just like bring my drink over here. But then it's like, I'd probably get like super fat because I'd probably stop doing like anything. And maybe I don't want telekinesis. Like maybe this is the weird like Twilight Zone-esque like twist on telekinesis.
Sure. Yeah.
Or it's like an evil genie and it's like, well, I'll give you telekinesis, but you have to use your mind for everything and you can't use your body anymore. And then you just slowly rot.
Yeah.
The monkey paw.
Yeah, man.
All right. You want this next one?
Yeah, Rasterman says, what Yu-Gi-Oh card do you see yourself as? Meaning if you were portrayed as one, would it be a spell, trap, monster, fusion, etc.? What would it do? I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! So I have no idea. I know the memes, but like I actually just don't know. Like I can assume what a spell, a trap, and a monster card are. I don't know what the fuck a fusion would be. Like
that was after I stopped playing. I'm assuming cards turn into each other now. Fuse.
John, do you know Yu-Gi-Oh, John?
I haven't Yu-Gi-Oh in ages. Why? What's up?
Okay, what Yu-Gi-Oh card do you see yourself as? Mean if you were portrayed
as one? Is that what the kids are calling
it
these days?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Dark
if you were
Magician
for-
Girl.
If you were portrayed as one, would it be a spell, a trap, monster, fusion, and what would it do?
What a question.
I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh at all, so I'm trying to think of like a. I'd probably
Can I be a
monster.
field card? Do they have field? They have field cards, right?
Oh, what is that?
Grassy Plains.
What is that one that Joey used to have, like the irritated elf or whatever the hell it is?
Wait, what?
I have no idea.
I used to watch the show, so I remember.
Yeah, I did too,
Yeah.
but that was like over a decade ago.
Irritated elf sounds exactly like what I am, so that I want that.
Can I be a dungeon dice monster instead? And I want to be the one that looks like an L. I don't know. That was a weird like 3 episodes of that show.
So like
Someone says obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Is
that's
that
the
name?
one, obnoxious Celtic Guardian. That's me.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna be a field card. I don't remember if that's a thing. People said fusions were in the beginning, so I have no idea what I am talking
You're thinking
about.
like synchro summons and stuff like that. All the stuff that involved a motorcycle.
Right. Yu-Gi-Oh's weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't understand any of this, so I would be a monster
Okay.
card.
you can be Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Great.
Yeah.
All I have to do is pay $10 a month to the patreon.com/topdownperspective.
Yep, that's it. And then you get to vote
And
on
then you could be one too.
Hooray.
John, do you want this one from Dead in Sky?
Oh, wow, I missed a couple. Okay. Dead and Sky says, with the 10-year mark of the podcast approaching and you guys starting the podcast at the beginning of 2010, would you guys consider doing a top 25 games of the decade list at the end of next year?
Ooh.
Oh.
I mean, I don't really want to.
I kind of don't either, honestly.
That just seems like a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the easy
we're
thing
not
would be
about
like
thinking here on Top Down
take
Perspective.
each of our top 10 games, like the number one, and that
Sure,
would have to
yeah.
be on the list. I just don't know if I could come up with another 15.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. Let's say maybe. Let's put a pin in that.
Disney20 says, "Ghost stamps? Do people actually care about the CFL?"
Go Stamps,
Yeah.
they won.
They're called Canadians. And
Yeah.
They're called Canadian football fans.
Did you guys watch the big game?
Nope.
Yeah, no, I don't care about the CFL, but people do.
I'm happy Calgary won, but like Calgary's
Yep.
one of the better teams usually, and also there's only like 7 teams.
Oh, so you just expect it. You're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
bag.
when I heard the Grey Cup was last weekend, I was like, is Calgary in it? Ah, cool. All right. At least we got one good sports
Yeah.
team.
Wish.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. VGC Kenny says, with Smash Ultimate coming out, would you want to see ultimate versions of other games like Mario Kart Ultimate with every race and track, or Mario Party Ultimate with everything? I'd need more examples, but I can't think of anything that would work well exactly.
You more or less already said 2 games that already exist. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is pretty much Mario Kart 8 Ultimate, or Mario Kart Ultimate, and Mario Party Top 100
Wait, it only
was
has
trying
Mario
to be
Kart
that.
8 tracks, right?
Well, I mean, they added more tracks, though. Oh, no, you're
Yeah,
right.
but-
They were all the DLC ones. Ooh, I see what you mean.
Well, no, because it has all the DLC ones, but wouldn't the idea of Ultimate be all the tracks from forever?
I guess, but that's also 24 tracks from the older games already. I
Hey,
see where you're
Smash Bros.
coming
Ultimate
from.
has arguably too much stuff in it, so
Yeah, I could see that.
that would be awesome.
maybe-
Mario Kart
maybe.
Ultimate.
More battle modes would be great. Battle
I would
modes and
love-
maps.
Mario Kart Ultimate would be cool, especially if they kept the cups so that they were still like kind of sectioned off and you could play each cup. Then you could like make playlists. Can you do that yet? Probably not, because there's not enough tracks. But that would be cool if you could make your own like 4-track playlist. That'd be cool. I could not care less about a Mario Party Ultimate edition.
I'd be down for that.
Pokemon Ultimate, you can go to all the regions.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing they need to do.
They only did that in one game, and that was Gen 2, where you could go back to a different region, and that was awesome, and that's why Gen 2 is the best.
I feel like they'll never do that unless it's the last Pokemon game they ever make.
Oh yeah, no, that's the way they make all the money and kill the series for sure. Yeah, for sure.
What other ones? I'm just trying to think of it. Like, I don't think I would want like a Zelda Ultimate. I don't think that would work.
No.
Or if it did, like the mechanics.
Madden
and, like,
Ultimate, where every version of every team is in the game.
That's true. Yeah, we can think definitely outside of Nintendo for sure.
Yeah. Because back in the day, I remember Mortal Kombat Anthology coming out, which had every fighter and then like the boss fighters, and that was a hot mess, but it was fun.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
And was it Mortal Kombat Armageddon, where they put literally every character in the game?
Yeah, so like I think this works well for fighting games specifically, which is why it doesn't like it makes sense that Smash is getting one where they just like keep adding shit to it. Final Fantasy Ultimate. Oh man.
Street Fighter Ultimate.
No.
That could work. I think fighting games could
Fighting
really
games
work
probably
as-
works the easiest, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Especially because we're basing this off a fighting game.
Yeah.
I would love like an F-Zero Ultimate to just bring all the tracks together in like a new thing.
I would just
think
like
would
a
be
new
really cool.
F-Zero.
That
Sure.
yeah, I guess baby steps.
It's true. Yeah, new F-Zero before that. Yep.
Yeah.
I think John has this one from Kimberly.
Would you guys be open to having the YouTube videos captioned? It's becoming more and more common, and I would be happy to help out. I'm getting out of grad school in May, so I'll have tons of time with not much to do. Kimberly, that is a lot of work.
Too much work, in fact.
Spend your free time doing something fun, not captioning YouTube videos. But thank you for the offer. That is very sweet.
Yes.
But yeah, no, do something fun with your free time.
Yeah.
Boko writes in, with award season coming up, I've been reminded of one thing that really bugs me with a lot of award shows. I feel like art, games, movies, music, and what have you, that has come out much closer to the date of the show generally have a much higher chance of being selected due to them being more recent in the voter's mind. Do you think this gives them an unfair advantage? How would you fix it? This is literally try and do this. That's why all the Oscar movies come out in the fall. The big games come out in the fall, also part because they want the holiday sales, but they definitely do this on purpose. I don't know if it's unfair. You can put out your game whenever you want, but when you know the big games are going to be there, you're probably just going to get overshadowed.
Yeah.
So
the only way to really
should.
the only way to really fix it is to have more award shows, which is not a good solution.
Yeah.
Right.
It goes the other way too, where if you put your thing out near the end of the year or whatever, you can, even if you have a decent game and it's not as good as this other game, you just screwed yourself because like now it's almost a disadvantage in a lot of ways too. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, this happens with big games too. Remember when Titanfall 2 came out between like Call of Duty and Battlefield, like the week in between those two, and it was just like, oh god, like, yeah. I mean, sure, maybe it's like the indie game can't ever come out in the fall, and it's like, well, you can. You're just like risking a whole bunch. Maybe you should just find like a week where nothing's coming out, and then you can have that week. That's just kind of the nature of it too. And I guess this kind of also goes hand in hand with the question we had last week of like, games that are super late coming out don't get much attention during like Game of the Year awards because a lot of those happen during December.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then why don't you just do like Game of the Year like halfway through the next year or whatever? And it's like, well, then people are playing the next year's games. Like, you got to do it.
That's the way you fix it though, is that you do it so late that everybody's had enough time that, and like at that point, people don't care.
and I mentioned like that the Oscars, they do it in February so they can get all those movies in. But I mean, movies do still come out, so they got to start thinking about the next year already. So that gets hard. But the other side of that is like let's say we did Game of the Year in February, that's even further away from last January. So it's making the January games even harder just because we were trying to get the December games in. Like there's not going to ever be a solution. Even if we did it halfway through, it's going to get hard at some point. It's going to get easier for some things. I mean, it's a circle. How do you can't just like collect everything.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. Last question. Dragonfire wrote in and said, if you could change the pronunciation of one word, what would it be and how would you say it?
Maybe I would maybe one would be spelt with like a W at the front.
You mean like WON?
Yeah, like the number.
Yeah, like one.
Or like once would be spelled with a W at the end. English has some stupid rules. I'd probably just try and fix some of them. Why do we have the K in front of night? Like why? For like, like
there we go. I changed night to knight. Perfect. Done.
Or change, exactly. Like fixing some of these weird. Like why? What are these here for? I'm sure there's a weird reason, but
I'm gonna piggyback and say I would change knife to knife.
It works.
I'm gonna change spork to knife just to screw it up again.
Yep. Okay.
You're ruining everything.
Just make the things even harder.
Why do we even need 26 letters?
Exactly.
Let's go down to 24. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Jay Linebeck, very, very good. Bringing it out full circle. Very good. 24 truther.
24 truther.
Oh my god.
That's what I've been saying, man. All right.
Yeah.
Game of the week.
All right. I don't even remember what I said I played. Bomberman 64?
I'm gonna give it to Payday too. I can't say Resident Evil GameCube or Game Boy. I can't do that.
I'm gonna give it to Astro Bot. Cool. Also, just I forgot to say this in the correct order. If you want to send in a question for next week, it is topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's PO Box. Things to keep in mind. Right after this, we are recording our The Quiet Man episode of TDP Plus, and I don't think there's been an episode of TDP Plus I have been more excited about recording.
Oh god.
So if you are a patron subscriber, definitely get ready for that. If you're not, maybe you should become one, because this is going to be a good episode. And today our December poll finished. For all of December, we will be playing through Rogue Legacy and then talking about that near the end of the month. So that's exciting. I know I've been wanting to play Rogue Legacy for a while. Yes. Anyways, that'll do it for the show. We'll be back next week. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Night, everybody.